What's up, everyone? David here. Got a new video for y'all today. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So don't miss out. Now today, muscle group of the day, we are talking about the delts right here. I want to point it out. Start saying delts, stop saying shoulders. I had a professor in college who always said, your shoulder is the joint. You don't work out your joints, you work out your muscles. So start calling it by the name of the muscle. Delt, short for deltoid, right here. The muscles on the sides. I don't understand, man. Guys, specifically, I'm talking to you. I see a bunch of bench pressing. You working out your chest is not going to make your upper body look as big as you may think it does. You may think so because it's the muscle right here in the front of our body. It's probably one of the first things that people notice because they're looking right at you. But in reality, if you want that wide, broad look, it's not necessarily your chest. It's those delts. It's those shoulders right here on the side. That's what's going to make you look big this way. Your chest, if you keep working it out, realistically, the only difference you're going to see is if someone's looking at you from the side angle, because now it's going to be popping out even more so. So I just want to point that out there. Still work out your chest. It will still improve that upper body. But if you really want that broad, wide look, you want to be able to walk in the door frame sideways, go ahead and start hitting the delts. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. What are the 3 main exercises that I do to help me build them up? You see, the thing is, the delts are pretty interesting. It's one of the very few muscle groups where it doesn't matter what angle anyone's looking at you from, you're going to be able to spot out the deltoids from any angles. Why? Because it is the only muscle group that is on all 3 sides of the body. The front, the back, and the sides. No matter where you're looking at someone, you'll notice it because the deltoid has 3 parts. It's got the front right here, the anterior deltoid or front delt. It's got the side right here, lateral deltoid or side delt. And it's got the back part right here, your posterior deltoid or your rear delt, however you want to call it. Whether you want to use the nerd talk and use anterior, lateral, and posterior, or you want to use the bro talk, front, side, and rear. Whatever one, you just got to understand. Work all 3 angles, work all 3 sides, build up those caps. Again, this muscle group right here, it's going to look like you have balls, like boulders on the top of your arm. Build them up. Everyone is always going to say that the go-to #1 exercise is always going to be the shoulder press. Now, me personally, it is one of my favorite exercises for my deltoid workouts, for my shoulder day. That is perfectly fine. But what I don't understand is why people say it's a good overall exercise for the shoulders. It is not. Because let's break it down. The 3 parts of the delts, what do? Front part right here, the anterior. This is what allows our arm to move forward or bring it up in front of us like this, okay? Side delt right here is what allows us to bring our arm out to the side like this. And then the rear delt is what allows us to bring our arm, when it's right here, not necessarily down and not necessarily to the side, but a combination of everything, all of this right here. So you see multiple, pretty much from in front of you to try to get it as behind you, whether it be out to the side, down, or a combination of both. Just know we're getting our hand from in front of us to now as far behind us as possible. The shoulder press, what exactly are we doing? We're lifting our arms over our head. Now, in what motion are we doing that is going to be able to work our rear delt? We are not moving our arm back behind us like this. No, we're pressing it straight up. We're not lifting our arm up to the side like this. You see, this is as far as I can go. We're lifting it up. So what muscle group is that working? Well, what's the only part of your delt that allows you to move your arm upwards like that? It's the front delt. So yes, although the shoulder press is a great exercise, I wouldn't say it's an overall best exercise for your delts as a whole, but it's one of the best for the front delt. And that's why that is my #1 go-to for the front delt workout. Me personally, I like to do it with dumbbells. You want to do it with barbells? That's perfectly fine. Me, I just find it better if I could do it with dumbbells because I can get a deeper stretch. I can go a little bit lower. You know, the bar's not hitting my collarbones. I can get a stretch and then go all the way up. Plus, if you got a weaker arm, now you got to weight on each side. Boom, bring up both arms evenly. Another thing with it, I typically do my delt workouts during my arm days as well. arms and delts back to back. So it adds a little bit more tricep work in there as well, because not only are you moving your arm up, but you're also locking out the elbow. And what muscle allows you to lock out your elbow? Tricep. So, you know, it just seems better for me to include it during my arm days as well. Another thing that I do when it comes to my dumbbell shoulder press that really helps out is I don't stick my arms out all the way to the side like this. Most people, they'll be having it right here side by side. Now, depending on what your mobility is, you may be able to do it, you may not. Everyone's gonna be a little different. But what I like to do to really target this front part right here, the front delt, is I actually bring my elbows a little bit more in. So not necessarily out to the side right here, but have it just a slightly more inwards, and boom, now I can go a little bit lower and then bring it up. Because think about it, if I had the dumbbells out to the side like this, boom, 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 that's as low as I can go. I can't go anymore. My arms are to my side. But if I were to bring my arms inwards just a little bit more, okay, now I'm getting more range of motion. The more range of motion you can get, the more the muscle has to stretch, the more length it has to contract against, and the more time it could be spent contracting, it could lead to more gains. Team full range of motion. You always want to maximize the range of motion if you can. It can help you lead to more gains. That's one of the few reasons why I honestly, when it comes to my shoulder press, I would prefer the dumbbells over the barbells, because I can actually adjust my hand angle. With a bar, you can't do that unless you have a special multi-grip bar that has handles out in front of you. Now, another exercise you could do that, again, specifically targets the front delt are going to be front raises. Now, me personally, I tend to like to do it with a weight plate. I don't know why. That's just something I've always gravitated towards. But everyone's different. You could do it with dumbbells, barbells, cables, or the weight plate itself. Regardless, lock out those elbows, bring those arms out in front of you. Either one of those two exercises, the shoulder press or the front raise, those are pretty much going to be your top go-tos if you want to work out the front delt. Here's the thing though, how much work does your front delt get compared to the other two portions of your shoulder? It gets worked a lot more. Why? Because guys, again, what do y'all do? You do a lot of pressing. Dumbbell bench press, barbell bench press, incline bench press. Not only are you working your chest, you're also working the front delt, because again, you're moving that arm out in front of you right here. So just depending on who you are, you want to be a little bit mindful of that. Is your front delt already overly developed? Or no, do you really need to spend the extra amount of time doing some more direct front delt work? Yes, no, maybe. It just depends on your programming, what your physique looks like. Some people, they do all the pressing in the world and they still do some direct front delt work. Why? Because they need it. They need it to pop out more because they're training for a bodybuilding show and they want that look. Everyone's gonna be a little different, but just be mindful of it. Of the three heads of the deltoids, the front one, that's usually the one that gets worked the most, just because of how much it gets involved in other exercises that are not necessarily part of shoulder day. Now, moving on to the side delts, this one right here, I always say you can never work your side delt enough, because that is the one that will genuinely make you look wider. It is the only part of our delts that actually grow outward. So if you want that wide, broad shoulder look, side delts take the priority. Again, you don't have to spend so much time doing your shoulder press and front raise. Your front delt is already getting enough love. Show more of it to the side. And what do you got to do? Anything where you're moving your arms out to the side, laterals, it's as simple as that. Me personally, I stick with dumbbells. I know a lot of the science-based nerds, myself included, occasionally, there's an argument for using the cable machine. That is perfectly fine. Do what you have to do. Just make sure you have enough resistance as you're lifting your arm out to the side. Make sure that when you do it, it's nice and controlled. Too many times, I see a lot of bent elbow and I see a lot of rocking back and forth like this with your upper body. No, what is that? It's like you're doing some type of weird RDO with your arms involved because you're bending so much at the hip. It's one of those exercises. No one ever asks you how much can you lateral raise. Because it's not one of those strength-based exercises. It's not like a bench or a squat where people ask, hey, how much can you load up on the squat? Hey, how much you bench? No, laterals for the side delts is based off of looks, aesthetics. We're doing it for our ego. We want to look wide. Lighten it up, go all the way up, and then slow and controlled on the way down. Really feel the burn right here on the side of your delts. Leave your ego at the door. Stop going so heavy. Stop all this rocking. I don't care if you're doing it with a cable and you're just yanking it to one side. No, move the pin a little higher, lower the weight, nice and controlled, and then bring it back down. With the dumbbells, you don't have to go so heavy. Go light in each hand, boom, up, nice and controlled on the way down. Again, that's all you need for your side delts. All this right here. So don't overcomplicate it. Use whatever thing you want to use. Cable, band, dumbbell, anything. As long as you have resistance moving this way, you'll be good to go. That's all you need for the side delts. And lastly, rear delts back here. Probably, in my opinion, the most neglected part of your deltoid. Why? Because you can't see it. We do a lot of rows, we do a lot of pull downs for our back, but to get direct rear delt work, it's rare when we see that happen. Yes, your rear delt will get worked when you're doing your rows and pull downs, similar to how your front delt gets worked when you do all of your bench pressing. But to do direct exercises to specifically target the rear delt, it's not as common. Me personally, I got my number one go-to, reverse cable cross. You got the cable machines. Grab one cable, grab the other, cross them, and then boom, pull them apart. You'll definitely feel it right here on your rear delt. Now, the thing is, again, you don't want to go too heavy with it, because what happens when you start going too heavy? Instead of keeping your arms straight and opening up, you're not necessarily keeping them straight and opening up. You're not pulling it apart. Now you're starting to bend those elbows and you're starting to row it towards you. And boom, that goes back to working on our back. There goes the chance of working our rear delts. So again, me personally, I like going with the cable machine. Make sure that you cross them though. Left arm grabs the right cable. Right arm grabs the left cable. Boom, now pull. Now, not everyone has access to a cable machine. There's the reverse pec deck, you know, the one chest supported and you're pulling it apart. Not every gym has that. Another simple go-to is find something to put your chest on. So put a bench on incline, lean on it, grab some dumbbells, and then open up. Anything where your arms are out in front of you and you gotta force them to open them up like this, that is going to work out the rear delt. And if you're a bodybuilder, want a well-developed physique, when you do your back double bicep right here, that's going to be exposed. You want that back part right there to be developed. You don't want to have a well-developed back, good lats, good peaks in the biceps, but oh, nope, those rear delts, there's something missing there. It's lacking. Have a good overall developed look for all three heads of the shoulders. The front, the side, the back, all of them equally as important. Some of us are going to have one more developed than the other. That's perfectly fine. Figure out which one is the one that needs work. Do more direct exercises for that one to bring it up so we can have an overall balanced look. It's as simple as that. So there you have it, everyone. That is my go-to shoulder workout on how to really build up those caps. At first, I started off by saying there's a certain amount of exercises, but now I'm just saying there's a certain amount of groups. Figure out what exercise you're going to do for the front. Figure out what you're going to do for the side. Figure out what you're going to do for the back. Boom. Stick with them. One of them may be overworked. The other one may be underworked. Figure out what you need more of. Do more exercises for that. Create an overall balanced look. Again, the whole point of delts for many of us is to grow wider, look broader. If that's the case, side delts will take the priority. But regardless, all the other muscle groups that were put on our physique for a reason, let's build them up. Let's get an overall balanced look. Comment down below what your shoulder workout looks like. What are the exercises that you do and for which particular portion, the front, the side, or the back? And also comment down below any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diets, workouts, programs, whatever it is, comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help you all out. Be sure to subscribe not just to this channel, but my girlfriend's channel, our couple's channel, so you don't miss out on any new videos. Because remember, we got new videos every week across the board for all three channels. For this channel specifically, new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. And then Instagram, TikTok, same thing. Be sure to follow me on my accounts, girlfriend's accounts, couples accounts. I put all the links down in the description below. With that being said, I'll catch y'all next time.